Oh, and just so everyone knows, January 6th, it took 45 minutes for the National Guard to be called, and that was by President Trump, according to Fox News. And then I believe it was like NPR. Those were the two stations I was really listening to. This time, it took 35 minutes for the LAPD to respond to the National Guard to this quote unquote artificial protest that happened, or artificial riot. It was mostly a protest turned into a riot. And it took 35 minutes for the LAPD to get there. However, interestingly enough, their reporting is when they got there, tear gas had already been fired and the National Guard had already built skirmish lines, meaning they had been there long enough and had been agitating people enough well before they called the LAPD. And then by the time they got there, that is the conditions of which they found themselves in. And so now you know what's going to happen. Who's going to verify any of the lawsuits? The LAPD? We know the National Guard won't, not unless there's actual like whistleblowers. But if they're willing to act as Nazis, they're not going to whistleblow. Their Paisley pay, they know, is too high at risk because the government's sure not going to fucking take care of them. So they have to do what Trump says or else they'll lose their paycheck. And in this economy, are you kidding me? Like, it's all set up perfectly. You get people desperate enough to do crimes against their fellow citizens, and they'll do crimes against their fellow citizens. And you get the other desperate citizens who would actually help be too poor and uninfluential or too involved in the moment to actually be an effective counterweight to like a lawsuit. And there you go. Now suddenly you have total control of the situation to the point that you can oppress people violently and class them in any way you want. And the governor, again, is not going to do anything. He's not going to save your paychecks or cut your paychecks if you're doing something illegal. He's not going to do anything to you unless you absolutely obey the president, who is not. I just want everyone to know, yes, president is the boss. He is not your boss. Are you a general? Are you the one getting the order directly from the president to the general? And if you're that general taking that order and not saying this is illegal, or I more than believe my troops are going to have to do illegal activities, then the next person down, when they see that order, goes, sir, do you want to have breakfast tomorrow? Because if you give me this order, this is not how you get breakfast. All the way down to like the Lance Corporal's private first classes. And I know you motherfuckers outrank them far more, just by numbers. Just by numbers. Because that's the state we're in. They're literally just cracking down on California, saying, oh, they're violent protesters, with like little to no evidence except for their own police and National Guard like attacking people. And then they're telling us that like, oh, we're going to have to actually like take away all of your rights because we're irresponsible. Good luck, everyone. Because I mean, like I said, the government's not fucking stopping it.